Okay, welcome guys. For everybody who's going to be joining, we're just going to be getting this all set up, making sure that we can get Warren in here and we can get the ball rolling. I'm also going to share this into one of my groups. Hopefully this is going to stay, it's going to be working alright. Let's get the volume up here. Whoops, we'll have to take that music off. Pause that. Welcome Larissa, welcome Mariam. I hope you're both doing fantastic. Right, okay. Self in. Just take these out. Okay guys, it's working right now. I can see it saying it's adding Warren. Welcome everybody. Charlie, welcome. Richard, nice to see you, my friend. Ben, welcome. We're going to be talking. Doing great. Hey Warren, how you doing?
How's it going, brother? You okay?
It's going good, my friend. It's great to see you. It's great to see you on the live today.
Feels good, man. Thank you for inviting me, James.
It's my pleasure, buddy. I've been seeing a lot of what you're doing. It's extremely impressive and extremely admirable as well, my friend. You're doing a lot for a lot of people, and no doubt, many people are noticing, including myself. And I just wanted to give you some exposure, man. Like you deserve it. So, you know.
Thank you so much, man. I've got a feeling that tonight's discussion that we're going to talk about is going to be powerful, man. We're going to change some lives tonight. That's what I'm excited about.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. That's what anything's about. You know, all the experiences we have as people and what we go through. Like everyone can draw from it. So obviously, I'll also be keeping an eye on the comments. Michelle, hey, welcome. Great to see you. Good, Mariam. So I'll be keeping an eye on those as obviously we're getting through. I'll also just quickly share this in my group. I know a lot of people in there will appreciate what you have to say.
I'll just share it on my page as well.
Definitely, buddy. My computer's going a little bit slow.
James,
say that again.
James, they say men can't multitask.
I have a feeling they are right in some cases. Right, okay. Alex, welcome, buddy. Tom, nice to see you. Great to see you guys on. Adrian. I think I just waved at you, Adrian. Apologies for that. Right, okay. Let's just get this in here. Post that. All right, Warren. Now, obviously, I know you a little bit. You know, we've touched base. We've had a bit of connection, and a lot of people who are going to be joining tonight won't have known too much about what you've been up to. And I would love to fill them in. So one of the first things I wanted to ask you is, what got you into inspiring people? What got you into helping people and with their lives and that?
Okay, so what got me into self-development, inspiring people was 6 years ago in 2012, 2013, I went through depression. And when I was going through depression, I was just lost. I was in a place where I thought that was it. Like once you're depressed for life. And then I had a bit of a like a rock bottom moment in my life where I decided that I was going to rather end my life or I was going to find the root cause of my depression. And that journey ended up of me flying to America and coming across a speaker called Tony Robbins, who I see a lot of people know if you're in self-development. And this man had the same upbringing as myself, but yet his perception was different. And just one video that I watched of his made me realize that actually who I thought I wasn't actually me. And in that moment, I went from being like a victim of like, why me? God, why did I have to go through this? Why is my dad not in my life? Why did my family get split up? All of these things that were like crossing my mind. In that moment, I went from being a victim to then being a teacher. I realized I had to go through those things in my life to be able to relate and to connect with people and to help people in a way where it was like, it's just been powerful. Like from going through it, people just listen because they know that you're not just reading from a book.
Mm-hmm.
You genuinely care and you know how it feels. So that's how it started. And I decided I call it like the Eminem moment. You know, you ever seen the film, James? You seen the film 8 Mile?
I have, yeah. Great film.
Yeah. In that film, the last rap that he does, he
Hmm.
basically tells the rapper everything bad about him. Everything, like he tells him like, oh yeah, I am white and I do rap and I do live in a trailer park, and he's telling this rapper everything bad about him, which is what he done was he just took away the ammunition. And that's what I did. I decided to share my story, the story that I was once ashamed of, online, and it took away the ammunition from people, from me seeking validation.
Hmm.
And in doing that, people from all over the world were like, Warren, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you've come from, but I'm going through the same things you're going through. What you're voicing out is what I'm crying for inside, of
Hmm.
what I'm going through. And that's how it got started. I just decided to share everything. Like I wasn't getting ready to be the perfect speaker. I started in that moment, and I just decided that I was going to share my story. And if I could help one life, then it's made sense of my whole past.
I love that. And do you know, there's a few beautiful things. By the way, hey Phil, welcome to great to have you on the live, buddy. There's a few things there that really stand out to me, and I think are a couple of components that are the biggest things for people getting ready to change their lives, getting ready to go out there and make a difference in their life and other people's lives. And it's that choice. It's that choice to look in the mirror and think to yourself, like, I might not feel ready to go out there and give myself to the world. But if I just do it, if I just take that leap of faith, if I just take those steps to go ahead and do it, they'd be surprised on such how the in crazy dramatic changes in their life start to come in. Like people start to resonate, they start to drop you a message here and there, just watch from the sidelines and say like, hey, like I resonate with it. I see what you're going through, and I'm going through the same. And you're totally right. And I think that for you to actually take those steps and clearly get to where you are, being obviously noticed by people all around the world, helping children in schools, which is fantastic, by the way. Like I can't, and that's a bit of, we're going to get onto that a bit later on. There's some really exciting stuff that you're
Yeah,
doing this year. I know, man. Like I'm excited for you, to say the least. And
thank you, sir.
and yeah, like to just do that, it really shows a lot about what humanity is capable of. Like a lot of people have been, brought up and told to be a certain way and to keep yourself to yourself. You know, the whole thing, be a man. Don't show your emotions. Don't let anything out. Then it's just that it's something that needs to be changed. The stigma needs to be approached, and the stigma needs to be looked at and seen how we can really adapt it. Now, you mentioned about Tony Robbins. Now, tell me a little bit more about that, because I saw the picture that you obviously had with him as well. Like that must have been quite an experience, because he is a very, very powerful man, like you say.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tony, um, literally I just listened to him religiously, like all of his content on YouTube. I would just watch his videos, and it just made sense to me. And it made me realize that life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not in control of what happens on the outside, but we're in control of the meaning that we give the things that happen to us. And the meaning is what produces the emotion. So therefore, we become in control of our destiny because we have control of the meaning. And it was having that self-awareness. So Tony Robbins was just a man that, like, he just made me realize it was possible. And I think listening to him religiously and understanding the mind, I completely reprogrammed, reconditioned my mindset. And I think that's the gift that Tony gave me. And I was like, I need to meet this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to UPW, which is one of his big events that he has, in London, of 13,000 people. And I'm there at this event, and he's got 13,000 people on the edge of their seats, listening to every single word that he's saying. And I was like, just in awe of this beautiful human being who has gone through so much pain, but he's turned that pain into almost fuel, which he feeds so many people from around the world. I'm not just meaning about food, I'm talking about like just of just life, you know, like
Hmm.
just of hope. And anyway, so I was like, I need to meet this man to thank him. And obviously at UPW, I didn't have a chance to speak to him. And then I was like, one day I'm going to speak on the same stage as Tony. Don't know how, but I'm going to make this happen.
Hmm.
This is what I said to myself, I'm going to make it happen. And then I had an opportunity. A good friend of mine, Hamid, who we hadn't met before, but he's from Holland, and he's like, Warren, I've just got platinum tickets to see Tony Robbins in America. Like, do you want to come? I've got a spare ticket for you. It's got your name on it. So I was like, yes. So I bought my ticket. I went to the like front row. I was at front row of Tony Robbins, and it's funny because like as Tony Robbins was there, like he's just spitting on all of the front row with his passion and speaking. Everyone's like in awe of it. Like this man's so special. Like everyone's like, this just spits in everyone's face. It's so funny. And then I had an opportunity to speak to him, and I was just like, Tony, right? I just put my hand on his heart, and I was like, Tony, like you played a massive part in me serving so many people and helping people in saving my life. And I traveled all the way from London to come and see you and to thank you in person. And he was just like, he said, thank you so much. I believe in you. And yeah, and it was like a moment that like, do you know, sometimes when you like meet someone who you've watched on videos and you've
Hmm.
never met him in person, and I needed to meet him to make him human almost. And yeah, so I met him, and that was 2 years ago, and yeah, it was powerful. Yeah, so Tony played a big part in my whole transformation, my whole perception on life.
Yeah. So I see a few people coming in, commenting on here. So we've got Michelle. Thanks, Michelle. We've got Angie, Katie, Lucia as well. It's great to have you all on the live tonight. Now, Warren, one of the things that I've started to notice of people in, I comment in a few groups with people with anxiety and depression and things like that, and a lot of people have this consistent thought process that they're lost or they're hopeless and things like that. And I think in a lot of cases, depression can do that to someone. They don't feel like they have a way out, and that they're not sure where to go, what's the right path, and they don't have any answers. You said you went through this. What would be your biggest advice to people? Because you've got to the point in life now where you've just got a fantastic personality. You're 100% yourself. Everybody can see that. It's great to see. Like, what would be your biggest advice to people trying to get to that point?
James, thank you so much for bringing this up, because that's a question that I feel like, that's really going to help a lot of people. Because my answer to that question is that it can't be about yourself. When I was going through depression, like when you go through depression, you don't give a shit. You don't care about yourself. That's my personal experience of that. So I had to do it for a bigger cause. And it was like in my mind, if I can help another life, another child who's growing up to overcome this, like to be hope for them, it it turned all of that pain, all of that things that I thought were um were bad into things that were just gold that I could just share with other people. So in that place, it was just a purpose bigger than yourself. And you find this like sometimes people that have gone through the most end up making the biggest impact in the world. If you look at anyone who's made a really big dent in this world and given back to humanity, they've gone through so much trauma. And I truly believe that it can no longer be about yourself. It has to be about other people. And the beauty of that is that when it's not about yourself, you know that you can't give from an empty cup. So you have to fill your own cup up first. But you have that motive and that you have that why that I'm going to help other people. And the feeling when somebody says, oh, I'm about to end my life, and you said something and you've saved my life, that feeling is a feeling that I've never felt in my life. It's a feeling that's like, it makes sense of your life. You're no longer a victim. You're in a place where it's like, you feel like you don't want to do anything, but you just get out of your comfort zone. Because it's not about you. So that's my answer to that question. I would say, just make it. If you've gone through anything, for example, if you've gone through neglect, or you've gone through for me, I went through foster care. So going through it, so children in the foster care system, the statistics are really bad. A lot of young people are ending up homeless. I know how it feels to not have your parents in your life. I know how it feels to feel lonely. I know how it feels to be in that place. If I can give my heart, if I can be there and show genuine love and hope, and I can supply strategies to somebody who's going through that, it makes sense of everything that I've gone through. I'm no longer a victim. I'm a teacher. And in that moment, it's just like, it's like epiphany. It just changes everything. Your whole the perception. I think it's just a perception change when you make it bigger than yourself. And I think that's what I got from Tony Robbins, was that this man going through everything he's went through, but he's on stage and he's giving, giving, giving to other people. And you can see that's his energy. That's why he gets that energy that he has is from the service that he's given.
I don't think I could. I don't think anybody could have answered that better than how you just have. That was fantastic, and even everybody who's watching right now, no doubt, I am sure you learned something from that. I mean, I think that one of the biggest things that, like you said, like people suffer with is they have that lack of self love for themselves, and therefore, and it's interesting because I never really thought of it that way, and you've really helped me to better my understanding. There is the fact that when it comes to making the changes, if you don't care about yourself, how do you do that? And then, like you say, like having something bigger than what you are, or that you perceive as bigger than you, can really help you through that. That was beautiful, man. Really. Now,
Thank you.
one of the things I want to talk about, man, and one of the most amazing things that I've seen you do is when you're speaking in front of children at schools. Now, can you tell everyone a bit more about that? Maybe some of the schools you've already been to, and obviously some of the exciting stuff that's coming up in the future as well.
Amazing. Yeah, definitely I can speak about that. So go back to March. So in March, I'm in Cape Town and we're in this township. And this township are like the slums in Cape Town, where these families that have nothing, just tin houses. And I went to a foundation called the Emoyo Foundation, and we was running a workshop with young people there. So I'm standing in this little hut, and all of the young girls there, young boys and girls were there, and they were just so polite when I walked in. They were smiling, happy. They had nothing, but they were so happy. And anyway, so my intention of going there was, I wasn't going to go there and like, I'm going to change all of their lives. I'm going to go there and plant a seed, and somebody else is going to water that seed, and they're going to literally become leaders in their community. And this workshop, it was so powerful. Like, I was there and I shared my story in a way that they could relate to and connect with. And I just remember seeing tears rolling down the children's faces, and they were like 6 to 15 years old, and their parents were at the back of the room. And emotions, they're very locked away in those kind of areas in the world because of the pain that they go through. But I just connected. I felt every soul. I was in this room. I connected with every single soul in that room, and I shared my story. And then what I did after that was I dropped the mic and I said, if you can speak, you can influence. And if you can influence, you can change people's lives. I know that I'm not the only one who's gone through things like I've gone through. I know there's somebody else in this room who cares about you. And they're going to pick the mic up. I don't know who it is, but they're going to pick the mic up and they're going to speak. And it's going to change your life. It's going to really impact your life. And I put the microphone down and I waited, and it felt like the longest 2 minutes ever. But this young girl, she walked over to this microphone and she picked it up, and she had tears running down her face. And she said, 4 years ago, my dad was murdered. And I hadn't cried since he was murdered. It's the first time I've cried in 4 years. And this is who I really am. And I'm sick and tired of trying to being someone who I'm not. And she spoke up, and literally the whole room was just crying, that connection. In that moment, I was just like, this is it. This is my purpose. This is my purpose, is to help young people and children. Because before that point, I was going into schools and colleges, but I was also working with entrepreneurs, working in the corporate world, and I was spreading myself in so many different areas. But like that moment in South Africa, it was like, that is what I want to hone in on. Those children, those young people who don't have the role models, don't have that self belief, and to be able to give them the tools and strategies to have a voice. So that profound moment was like, it sparked something inside me. Like, when I get back from South Africa, I'm going to set up and I'm going to set up an academy called the ICA Academy, which is the Inspire Confidence Academy. And I did it with a group of amazing people who are like my family: Lucia, Michelle, Chris, the guys that are watching this, and then to create this academy where we teach life skills in schools. So these young people, they're academic, but they have those life skills so that they can overcome bullying. They can learn to love themselves. So recently, we've put on a tour to go around the UK. And one big thing, in starting this journey, when you work in schools, schools don't have that much of a budget. So this is why I went into the corporate world and to work with entrepreneurs. So I thought of, like you see athletes that have sponsorships. They have like Nike, Adidas, and all these other sort of companies sponsoring them. I thought, why don't we get sponsorship from companies, and then we can deliver free sponsored workshops in schools across the UK, in prisons, and like young offenders, all of these different institutes that they really don't have a budget, and we can go in there and provide the services so that we can like teach these young people to become leaders and to literally, because this is what it's about. It's not about giving them fish, it's about teaching them how to fish. And I think if you can speak, you can influence. Because I grew up in a council estate, and I didn't have the right communication skills. I was a bit like in it, yeah, yo, like a bit of road talk, right? A little bit of slang, talking like that. And I was wondering, why are people not taking me seriously? Why are they not taking me seriously? It's because I had to learn to communicate. And these are the vital tools that we're giving these young people, are the tools and strategies to stand up. Even the ones that are really shy. Like I go into a classroom, I find the shyest person in that classroom. My goal is to get the shyest person in that classroom to stand up and to be authentic and to speak and to talk about what she's passionate about, what he's passionate about. And every workshop that we do, the shyest person in that room is standing up at the start, biting their sleeve, looking nervous, not looking at no one in the eyes. And then literally at the end of the workshop, Philippa is literally looking people in the eyes saying, hi, my name's Philippa. I'm a bit quiet, but actually I've got a big personality. When I'm at home, I'm singing, I'm dancing. I want to be that person in my everyday life. And that's the most rewarding thing. That's what we're doing in schools. We're giving young people the tools and the strategies to say, I'm not going to aim for a D or an aim for a C. I'm going to aim for an A star. And if I don't get an A star, then so be it. But I've given everything that I've got. And to get them to aim higher and to not just go through the school system, but to thrive in the school system, but also just have self-belief to know that I don't have to be anybody else but me. And I love who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I don't need validation. I don't need to fall into peer pressure. Like confident, strong children. That's what we're creating in the speaking tour. But yeah, so we've done this in the Caribbean, in Vietnam, in America, in South Africa, in the UK. And yeah, now I need to do this full time. Young people, full time, have an incredible team of people that we're going out weekly to several different organizations weekly and just making a massive impact.
I love it. It's awesome, buddy. I think what you're doing is amazing, and you're changing people's lives. And the work you're doing, especially for young children, is going to completely revolutionize their futures, and what they may have been doing in the future is totally what they're not going to be doing, as opposed to going down the wrong paths. And I really, really am in admiration for you, my friend. Now I see.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've got a few people here. We've got Lucia again. Thanks for the comment, Emma. Thank you so much for the love there. We really appreciate it. Now, Warren, I know you've said obviously about the tour, but what's your vision for the future? What in the next 10 years, what do you want to accomplish? What would you like to be, doing with people in the future?
Okay, so the long term goal in this is to create inspire academies across the world. So these are schools that don't just like have a lottery and put random kids into a tutor group. They literally design these schools are designed to provide the right teacher for the right students. So therefore, through their personality types, teaching life skills through the national curriculum as well, having a national curriculum, but also teaching the life skills. So having these Inspire academies across the world. The first one being in South Africa, Cape Town. That's that's the big vision in all of this. But the short-term vision in this is to be providing these workshops across and reaching over 100,000 students every single year in the UK. Because these workshops that we're teaching, they're profound. Because it's teaching them how to use their mind in a way that you can be good at anything, but you need to understand how to create new beliefs, create new habits. So therefore, if you want to play the piano, you're going to suck at it when you first start out, right? But there's things you've got to do. You've got to get yourself a mentor. You've got to practice, and you've got to do it. And you've got to be able to say, look, I'm okay with not being good right now, but the more I do it, the better I get. So it's bringing like that those crucial strategies that I feel like the minority have. Because this is what, like, at the start of my journey, when I started my business, I wanted to move to Mayfair, right? And the reason why I wanted to move to Mayfair was that I could be surrounded by like the 2% of people, the successful people that have created startups and successful businesses. And I wanted to learn their language. And what they all have in common, their traits, is that they don't care what people think about them. That's number one. They don't care. They're willing to put the 10,000 hours in to master it. Like, they don't go in thinking, I'm only going to dabble in this. They go all in. And their power of just collaboration and connecting and creating mastermind groups, and they've just got the fundamentals to thrive. And it's about, I want to be in that environment so that I could soak up that knowledge and then dilute it and spread it to the masses, the children, that it's okay to fail. Failing's okay. I can't do maths. I can't do, oh, how many times have you tried doing this? Not much, or I don't like doing it. Well, that's the reason. You need to love doing it. You need to find the reason in loving doing it, and then use repetition. The mind is just all about repetition, and it's about giving these young students that belief on how to love yourself, how to build your own confidence, ultimately how to have your own power station. Most people don't own their own power station, and what I mean by a power station is that they get their confidence and their self-worth on external things. They get their confidence in material things. They get their confidence in likes on Instagram or likes on Facebook. But when you create your own power station, this means you generate your own confidence, your own love, your own power within you, that you don't need external sources to fill yourself, to fill those voids that you have within you. So when we can give these young people the tools and strategies to build their own power stations, that they can walk alone if they have to, and they've got the confidence to be able to go out and do whatever they want to do.
That's some serious nugget bombs that you dropped just there.
That's the vision, man.
Yeah. That's some serious golden nuggets there, buddy. I absolutely, that's awesome. And you're totally right, man. Like, when you said about the Instagram likes and things like that and the external validation, like, man, like that's serious. Like, a lot of people, it's the biggest, one of the biggest things that they don't realize that they're doing wrong. Now,
that's it. Yeah. I was just going to say as well, it's like, even doing Facebook Live, sometimes you could do a Facebook Live and only 2 people are watching. And a part of you's like, oh my gosh, am I not good? Do people not like my content? It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter how many people are watching you. As long as you believe in yourself and you know what you're doing is right for you, and that's what matters, is knowing that even if one life from this interview, one life is impacted, boom. So yes, again, it's like, it's generating that. You don't need external validation.
I love it, and you're right. Like that, I think, and that was one of the biggest things that I also realized is that just help one person at a time. That's all you have to do. That's all you've got to do.
That's it. That's it.
That's literally it.
That's
So for everybody watching right now, hey Frankie, by the way, it's great to have you here. Hey Andrew. For anybody that has any questions for Warren, we'll go for another couple of minutes here. Just drop them down in the comments. I'm keeping a check up on them on the left-hand side here, and I'm keeping a check down here. Just drop them in there. Anything for Warren. He's a fantastic guy. You've heard a bit about his story. You know, speak up. Like I know a lot of people, especially some of the people watching, you're holding in some of the stuff that you want the answers to, and I've seen it, and I'm seeing it time and time again on a daily basis. If there is any man that you can get some great advice from, is this man right here. So drop some comments down there. If you're struggling with a bit of depression, you know, you're struggling with your life as a whole, get some questions down there. This is the time. So Warren, I just wanted you to tell, just on the sort of the last bit of today's live, I wanted you to tell everybody more about the Speak Up tour that you've got going on, like maybe some of the avenues or when the places you're going to be doing it, or maybe when that's going to be available. Just a bit more information on the dates and times
yeah.
and things.
Okay, so we're starting the tour on the 7th of November. We're starting off in Bristol, then we're going over to Newport, to Cardiff. But literally, if there's anyone watching this right now, and just say you want to be a speaker, or you want to contribute to this cause, or maybe, do you know what, I don't want to be a speaker, but I want to support this cause. I'm a great writer. I can do, like, if you can support in any way, shape, or form and be a part of something, the Speak Up Tour, this is what it's called, the Speak Up Tour. If you guys want to be a part of this, because it's going to impact so many young lives out there. And whether that's you want to be part of it as being a speaker, you want to support, you want to be able to be a sponsor as well. So therefore, we can have your logo on our merchandise, and it can be literally like we'll send you success stories, we'll send you testimonials, we'll send you the whole journey of. And at the end of this, we're going to create a documentary. We're going to create a documentary of this start of the tour, and then obviously when we finish next year, it's all going to be condensed into a documentary, and we're going to see the impact that it's making. Because what we want to create from this tour as well is that we can get more young people speaking up and doing this on our behalf as well. So yeah, this is about just an amazing opportunity if you want to give back. If you've gone through anything in your life, you're in a place where you've got your own business and you feel like you've got value to give about confidence, self-worth, depression, anxiety, mental health, any of those topics, definitely get in contact. Speak to James. See me and James talk. So yeah, get in contact. And if I would say as well, anyone who's watching this right now, and if you've got any value from tonight, just click that share button and type shared below as well. Because I think even you sharing, because we're not friends with your friends. And if some person, like, I think this is what fate is all about, right? Even if you click share and somebody reaches it, this is what I love about social media, is that we can reach the masses just from sharing. So yeah, just want to put that out there as well, James.
Yeah, no, and I fully agree with the last bit. For everybody, you know, don't be afraid of your friends and family seeing what it is you're putting out there, because sometimes you will have a situation where someone might say to you, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? But listen, when you start to surround yourself with people like Warren and people like myself, and the messages we're trying to give out to everybody, the messages we're trying to really push to people, you will find the strength you have will help you to overcome any adversity, any doubt that people get plant in your mind, and anything else. That's why we're here to do this. Now,
that's it.
Yeah, and we've got.
I was saying that's why. And also as well, right? If you could ask one question for the 5 people that are watching this right now, if you could ask just one question that could better your life, what would that one question be? Like literally, sometimes some of us like don't want to ask questions, but like if there's just one question, just throw it out there. What is that one question? Because a question can get an answer, and that answer can be a door that you haven't seen before, and through that door, it's going to take you to a place where you've never been before.
Love it. I love that, man.
Yeah, because I think sometimes when you're watching it live, it's like you get a little bit intimidated to ask a question. It's, that's a stupid question. There's no stupid questions at all.
Definitely.
Thank you, Lou.
Frankie, we've got here, he says, will you be in the States? Which is actually a great question.
Will I be in the States? Yes, definitely. Like, I've been to the States 3 times now with speaking tours and stuff. So absolutely love the States. I feel like self-development is about 10 years ahead in the States. So we're really welcomed in the States when we go there, and they're more advanced over there. So yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Well, let us know if you're East Coast or West Coast, and we'll keep you updated.
Definitely. Listen, Warren, thank you so much for tonight. I really appreciate it. You've done a great thing for everybody watching tonight. You've given some fantastic value, and the Speak Up Tour is something to seriously look forward to. So we're going to call that live here tonight. Anybody, if you want to get in contact with Warren, his name will be tagged in the live. You'll easily be able to access it from there. Fantastic guy. You'll get plenty of value. Follow him on anything and everything that you can, and keep up to date.
James, just want to say thank you for inviting me onto your platform. Thank you for being a servant to people. Thank you for just giving so much value and showing up every single day. Thank you for, just the impact that you're making in this world as well, James.
Really appreciate that, buddy. All right, well, thank
No
you,
worries,
everyone,
man.
guys. Take care, everyone, and you'll see us both in the next videos.